Episode 109. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We got Action Comics with Superman, and we have Doom, a single shot, and we have Rook by Ghost Machine. Let's check them out right now. Channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me. We're your host, Frank Zanca. I am here as a commentarian, but I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a working filmmaker. As of a few days ago, and I just got back from LA. I was in LA for a month on a film, so now I'm trying to catch up on all my comics. So we're going to have episode after episode because I literally have like 20-something books lying on my bedroom floor. I'm trying to read them all. So we're going to be doing them back to back to back practically every day. So fun for you guys. Woohoo! Although this week is probably a slow week, which helped me, catch up. But let's jump into Action Comics. But before we do, remember to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to check out the link below in the description, we are launching, we did launch Mythlords Classic Monsters card game, where you can play as the classic monsters, which is art done by Mark Spears, who does a bunch of covers for comics. He's done a Power Rangers cover, he's done a Vampirella cover, he's done Spider-Man, he recently did a New Before Zod cover. So he's doing just a pile of stuff, and he's done all this supernatural classic monster stuff, and we are fully funded already. We already passed our goal. We're unlocking stretch goals now. It's a perfect time for you to jump in. And then this Wednesday, Comic Book Wednesday at night, 8 p.m. EST, I'm going to do a solo playthrough live. So you can also look at the description, find that link as well, or if you're a subscriber from my channel, it'll also come up. All right, so let's jump into Action Comics. So this is number 165. This is the House of Brainiac tie-in. I don't usually collect Action, but now that Action and Superman are kind of connecting, this is Superman is now connected with Lobo because all the Zarnians are back, even though Lobo was supposed to be the last one. And Brainiac has shrunk all the heroes and is taking them on his ship because he needs them for some reason that we don't know yet. All right, he's also got Luthor on the ship. And this whole issue goes back and forth between Supergirl and Connor Kent and Superman with Lobo. So they are captured on the ship. I'm just going to go through this quickly. And then we see that they are being attacked by the Zarnians, which is kind of cool, led by this thing, the General Charnak, is up to that effect. So the artwork in here is really good. The action is good. Superman's in a suit at this point, and then we switch back to the ship where we have Supergirl and Connor that are little. So we get this little Lilliputian type of scene going on, where it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of thing. But then Livewire and Parasite are stuck, being held captive, and they need their help. So they say, look, don't screw us over, but we're going to get you out so you can help us get big, and please don't screw us over. And then we see them looking at the gun, and he's like, I think this is going to turn you back big. And she's like, well, how do you really know? He's like, only way we know is to try it, because they don't have any powers at this point. Their powers have been taken. And we got this really nice splash page of them going, kind of Guardians of the Galaxy-ish and stuff like that. We got this whole lot of fight scene going on with Brainiac. And it does, of course, as you said, as Livewire said, it did make her grow. And she's like, well, Kalu, that's your home planet. I thought you destroyed your home planet, but now you have a piece of it there shrunken. And if you enlarge it, it's going to destroy your whole ship. What are you doing? But instead, it goes on to, he's got a skull ship, which I always thought was kind of weird. But it goes on to his head kind of like a crown, I guess. And there's all of Kalu, which is tiny now. And we continue to have this fight scene go on. And it's pretty decent. And then we get back to Superman, who they are on this planet searching for Brainiac, and they get interrupted again by the Zarnians, which is pretty interesting. So they make a deal, Lobo and the other guy, and says, "Look, you can come in with us, but you got to kill the Kryptonian." So we're gonna have in Superman, we're gonna have some kind of a fight scene between. Then I heard this fight scene's not that great, but anyway, then we have Brainiac's son, and he's a disappointment. This is the whole backup story. It's completely unnecessary, except that we get to see this final panel where she says "mother," and I assume that's what the whole lead up is this female Brainiac. So yeah, pretty good. I think that if with him doing, meaning Gunn, doing this whole Superman thing, this is actually a great story to get into. We have a really good bad guy. We got Luthor in there. We got Supergirl in there. We got the whole family, and it would be a really fun movie, I think, because you have a lot going on, and you have Superman trying to find them, and them trying to do things on their own, powerless. And I think it's good. So I don't know what kind of movie we're getting with Superman, but I think this would be a good punching off point, especially when all these characters for the CW, etc., have all been introduced already. All right, so let's jump into Doom. Now, this book, I just picked this one up. It's been out for a few weeks now. And I was told by he says, "You're lucky you got this because it's worth over $30 now, and it's only been a couple weeks." I was like, "What?" He said, "There's something in it that have made it go up." And I looked on eBay, and he's right. It's going for anywhere from $25 to $50. So that's pretty incredible. I don't know if it'll keep that momentum. Sometimes it just goes to a certain level, and then it just dies. But we'll see. But just the fact that I'm holding a $30 book in 2 weeks that have gone up in 2 weeks is pretty interesting. But anyway, this is about Doom, where he took on Galactus and lost. So he had this big mech suit, and Valeria ends up picking him up and rejuvenating him. And Valeria is still a child in this for the most part. But I guess the Fantastic Four are all gone. Everybody's gone. And you saw what the Skull ship looked like before. Well, now we got another one. Except that's the head of the mech that he was in. But they fly into it, and they kind of use that as the base kind of thing. And she tells him that, and the artwork is not very good in here. It's very, very stylized. But she tells him that you went, toe-to-toe with Galactus, and you lost. The fact that Galactus basically went mad and he was going to destroy Earth anyway, even though there was a pact with, Mr. Fantastic not to have that. I don't know what happened to the Ultimate Nullifier during all this, because that was the whole thing. But I guess because he's mad, that really didn't even deter him. And then you see some, Captain America stuff and, the other heroes that are going to go up against him. We get this splash page here of all the heroes going up against Galactus, and I guess the villains kind of joined in. So you get this other page of all the villains coming out, and anyway, and they all get killed. Every single one of them gets killed, and Valeria again is telling this story as she's rejuvenating Doom. So it is a very strange story, because then he goes up against the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Skrull, and he destroys all of them as well. But Valeria gives Doom this, these arc reactors or whatever else that I don't know if they're Infinity Stones or whatever. I don't know if she puts in him, but I forgot what it was. But it was something to that effect. It was something to that effect, and she puts 3 of them in there, so you get some kind of galactic powers. And then we get this weird little side shot. I don't like that they just turned the thing like that. He even goes up against the Celestials and kills them. So he's just on a rampage because he needs their tech or whatever. And then we get this weird fight scene with the Molecule Man. Why? It's like totally sidetracked for no reason. But, some of the dynamics of the pages are good. And nothing really happens. That's my problem with this. It doesn't really end. So we go through this whole big one-shot, and all we do is get him going up against Galactus again. So I was okay. I mean, I don't think it's really worth $30, and it would not make a good film or television show because there's really no story there. So, I mean, it's like paper thin. So, whatever. It was okay. Uh, Not if it was a second issue coming out, I probably would be picking it up. All right, so let's jump into a Rook Exodus. This is number 2. This is by Jeff Johns and Jason Fobach doing the art. This is on the Ghost Machine title, which this is a story about a group of like a handful of people that are on this planet called Exodus, which is a very weird name for a planet because you'd be leaving. Exodus means I'm getting out of Dodge. So I don't know why you call that. But anyway, the world builder machine breaks. So now the world is deteriorating where they can't stay there anymore. So there's a few people trying to build spaceships, and Rook is one of them. And these things called wardens, it's kind of interesting. So we have this little sci-fi thing going on. So the wardens control certain animals with their helmet. So Rook, he controls birds, certain types like crow-type birds, and then you have Swine that controls these, warthog-type characters, and then you had they have this guy that's controlling these huge bears, but he stole some old warden, so we don't know who this guy is. He's not a real warden. He stole it. And then you have Direwolf here that controls wolves, and that's a female. It's the only female of the group at this point. So we start out with Direwolf, and the costume, and really the costumes look pretty cool. It looks, very bounty hunter-ish from Star Wars and stuff like that. And that's what Rook looks like. So he looks like he has a little bit of a beak, and he's trying to track down Swine, but he has no idea that Swine is dead already. The bear guy killed him. So then we have this big turtle thing. So we get a little bit more of a world build by some of these creatures that that we see, and this big turtle's coming out at him, and he remote controls his car to hit the thing, so he ends up surviving. And so he goes home. He's still looking for Swine, but then she pops up and he takes his gun out, and she's like, no, it's me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I invaded your home. It's just me. And we get this nice shot of him with the gun to her head, and she's got the gun to his gut. And she takes the helmet off, and we see they're all scarred up, which I really appreciate when they have people that are, in these type of situations and their faces are all perfect. We know that these guys have gone through a whole bunch of stuff. And then we get this explosion taking place, and the bear guy is coming at them, and you can see how big all the bears are, and they're riding them, and they have, these cockpits on their backs, and, she's firing up a storm, so we get a lot of action here, and then we have him calling in the birds, and some of them are getting, killed, and things to that effect. I don't know what happens when they run out of birds, but the ship that he has been building this whole time is destroyed, and he does not take it well. He's just like, no, not my ship, no, because that's the only thing they had to get they were going to be able to get off planet with, and now they're stuck there on a planet that is deteriorating. Everybody else, all the rich people and everybody else had gotten off with their ships, leaving basically the have-nots left on the planet. And he's like, kill them all, kill them all. So that's it. It's a pretty quick in and out type book, but lots of fun, lots of action, lots of world building. We get to see, something that, we saw in the last issue, him really building, get taken out, basically in the next issue. Now we have no idea what these people are going to do, and we have no idea who this bad guy is. So it's a lot of good moving pieces in here, and this would make a great film. I would definitely buy a ticket for that film. It's so far, I don't even know where it's going to go yet, but just the world building alone is worth it. Doom? Nah, it's not that good. And Action Comics, this is where Gunn should have gone with it. Being Brainiac and him collecting the supers and everything being fallen on Superman at this point to find them, but he's stuck with Lobo, and now Lobo's turning on him. It's really good stuff. Really good stuff. All right, well, that's it from me for this episode. So remember again to like and subscribe. And remember to check the link below for Mythlords. So this is the back of the box as well. As you can see, you can play as Dracula, Frankenstein, etc. It plays 1 to 4 players, as I told you, because we're also doing a solo mode that I'm going to be playing through. And there's obviously plenty of great artwork throughout. And then there's also, if you're a fan of Wizard of Oz, there's also a Wizard of Oz expansion pack where you can play as commander of Wicked Witch from the West, Dorothy, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. Then you have all the other witches as well. So it's going to be lots of fun. So definitely check out the link below. And if you are available to watch my live stream on Wednesday night, that would be great as well. Again, that link is going to be in the description below as well. All right, thanks you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Check out some other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. All right, see you guys on the next one.